Greetings and salutations, Ben here, Hip here, you there. It's the Sunday night hanging. Oh, is that hanging? Sure. Hanging. Right here on Sundays, because it's easier than changing the name. If you're new, please subscribe. If you're returning, you know what you're in for. So we already got Scarborough Suitcase in the chat. That's a 2-4 for those who don't know. And more filing in. And I'm seeing a lot of familiar names. So we'll give them a sec here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go way back in time, all the way back to 45 minutes ago.
Way back.
We got Herb of Fireside Studio in the chat, and then he was gone because he never replied again or so. I don't know. Dave Chase is here. We saw him yesterday during the Water Buffalo meeting. Zach Thong's here. Cushman, NYC, Elbarge. Who else we got here? Randy Crux, he got himself a new LSAT, classic blues boy. He didn't mention to me if it's a tribute or it's American build. Sent me a photo, just like, got it. I'm like, all right, and then didn't reply. So, we saw Matt. I think it's Matt. McCollum Music. I want to say Matt. I mistakenly referred to him as Jay yesterday, and he missed it, and he let me do it because I knew a Jay McCollum locally. Not. Bo's here. Bo was at the meeting yesterday as well. Mr. Hipmetalworx. Ooh,
Don't swear at me like that, man. Come on. You know better.
HW Titan Lords. A.K. Mad Raj. What's up, Raj? Paul McNary, and that appears to be all the cats. With variants in between. There we go. Fellow Canuck Wayne McConnell's here. Ferd Burfel, who was not at the meeting yesterday. Just saying. Ferd missed his first meeting, and I'm not sure how long, which is proof he apparently has a life. Who knew? Randy just said it's a tribute. Okay. Thank you, Randy. You could have put it in the chat, but I'm behind in the chat, so maybe you did. I don't know. Steve Reeser. Steve's here. Who else we got here? Dave Chase. Scott Brockway. We missed Scott yesterday. Billy Bloney was there. I thought you were headed to Jamaica today. Maybe that's tomorrow.
Ooh, Jamaica?
Yeah,
cool.
He just headed to Jamaica, which was then we were talking about the legalities of lifestyle choices. It was in Dastardly Dave was there. He was one of the new guys there as well. Rico B is in Chile, BC today. Okay. JP Page 2, Josh Tamberg, both. They were in attendance. BC Rich was in attendance as well.
It was a cool hang, actually. Well, they're all cool, but
what's that?
They're all cool. It was a cool hang yesterday. They're all cool, but
Blue Mox. Still winter peg. Jeff K's here. Scrolling. Hey, there's Trev. He was there. Randy just said tribute in the chat there, so see it. He did. Okay. Matt. Yeah, Matt. Okay, Matt with 1 T. Right. That was good. I was chatting with Charles a bit last night. Well, texting with Charles. It doesn't sound the same. And I said, "Yeah, he says, did I miss anything?" I said, "You missed a Gretsch tuned to drop F." He went, "Oh my," which I'm pretty sure I could hear the facepalm through the phone. That's what I'm saying. And yeah, Hobo Roadie's here. The Down and Back Cornhole Podcast. Hey. What's up, cousin Doug? He missed it yesterday. Patrick Traits.
Good day.
Fellow Canuck. Oh, just because. Appreciate that. Just because.
Cool. Right on.
I will put that towards the Gretsch payment. Yeah. Yep. Terry Himes is here, and the lawnmower tapes. I'm not saying the carpool, but they may have. Michael Krause is here. He says, "My soldering sucks. I can never mock by the soldering skill." Hey, Last couple times been it worked. You missed my hang. I believe yours was last night. Ours was during the day. So, yeah. Christopher Live Silva is here as well as River Docs, who was live the other night. I caught
him. Good to see you.
2 minutes ago. I'm like, of course he did. Don't tell Charles I'm getting a Gretsch Brian Setzer. I won't say a word, Bo.
Pay attention.
Well, we are caught up, yeah, I'm caught. That's me dropping F and making tone guys cringe. Well, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. There's Mark Taft. Semantics doesn't matter. I was busy. I was watching race coverage. So there you go. And it was already out this year playing cornhole, Doug. Have you been out playing cornhole outside this year yet? I was. I believe that was on, is that Tuesday? The day of twos? Or possibly Wednesday? I don't know. Mark and I got together. I beat him 4-2 for the first time in my life.
Yeah, you guys have had a nice little stretch of warm weather. Ours is coming.
17 that day. Well, see, and that's the thing. I was telling him, usually around this time of year, Kent, I get flack from his brother Milt. You'll see Milt in the chat, Milt T, right? Okay. And he'll be like, hey, because he lives in Windsor area, which is, of course, much further south of Detroit. And so he'd be all screenshot, temperature. He's like, yeah, 19, just saying. Thinking it's like -4 here or something. I was like, yeah, it's basically the same temperature here at 17. Oh, pretty nice, eh? I was like, snow's gone. Although it was trying to snow today. I was below freezing again today. So,
well, it gets a little weird like that. I mean, like I've seen 2 feet of snow one day, literally 2 feet of snow one day within 24 hours, plus 21, plus 22.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Marcia Murray and Terry's 333 Gs? Blackjack guitar. Oh, it was interesting. And Trev and I were talking about that the other day. He's like, what the hell? He's like, I got like a foot of snow and you're outside in a t-shirt. I was like, yep. In February. Yep. It was right at the end of February.
It's about right.
It's like, I know. This is mid-April weather at best. At best. The last few years. So, oh yeah, and how did the concert go last night? Jim went to a show last night. Concert. I don't like using that term unless it's at a hockey arena or an outdoor. Unless we're using a sporting facility that holds a lot of people. That's a concert. Otherwise, it's a show. It's a show. How'd the show go? How about we'll do that? How'd the show? The gig, as it were. Yeah. New England. The nice thing the other day is we could go outside. It was beautiful, and there was no bugs. Ha-ha! That brief time. No black flies getting in your ears and shit. Yeah.
It's coming, though.
No mosquitoes. Oh, I know it's coming. It was really good. It was a show. There we go. Awesome. There we go. If you have any questions for myself or, Hip, you can do the @ sign. Ampersand is the technical term, but I don't like being technical around us guitar players. Which is easy there, Ben. You sound like you went to college. I didn't. Trust me.
Maybe I can demo an amp for you,
We were, no, in all fairness, all right, we were wearing pants as well. Because that sounds different. And no, we were also wearing pants. I'm just saying, we were also wearing pants. Black flies are the worst, Billy.
Well, the
yes. Use an @ sign or question marks in the front, or stand out with a super chat. That because it helps keep lights on. Payments on Gretches that we don't need, that we buy after demoing because we fell in love with it. Which I watched the demo of, and you can see it happening, Ken. That by literally at the end, I'm like, I'm going to go snag this. And that's what I did, because it didn't even go back to the rack. It went out to the countertop and said, what are we going to do about this?
Oh, right on. Well, must have had that special mojo then, right? Not too many guitars that pick up
potential mojo. Like it wasn't. I didn't fall immediately in love with it, which has happened rarely with a guitar. But I knew that I was like, you just need to be fine tuned. You just need a tune up. It's like, yeah, that's kind of what I need. So, and that's what I did.
They pretty much all do once you bring them home.
Yeah. Okay, deer flies and horse flies are the worst because they bite. Blackjack guitar. Touche.
Yeah, deer flies are a pain.
Yeah, literally. Ouch. They take chunks out.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have beaver teeth. I think that's what it is. Michael Torrin in the house. What's up, good sir? Yeah, I know it looks like Hip's hanging out at your place, but he isn't, honest.
No, just around the corner.
Yeah, just around the corner.
Yeah. Good to see you, Michael.
If you're asking who next week's guest is, folks, TBA. Working on someone. We're waiting on a confirmation. So that's all I can say at this time. Because while I was watching the NASCAR coverage last night, I was also texting with a guest.
So who did
Thank
what?
God we don't have moose flies. Blackjack guitar, you're right. Although, go far enough north, oofda.
Yeah. Yeah, they can grow them big up there.
Yep. You are an enabler, Raj, but that's okay. I was just shocked for the amount of guitars I've demoed in the last year. Only bought one. That's well, it had to be affordable, and although I was thinking about a couple acoustics, but I didn't get. But usually it's just the higher end stuff that I immediately fall in love with, and I'm like, thankfully I can't afford this in any way, shape, or form, so we don't have to worry about it. Mark asks, is Charles Green coming back soon? We saw him yesterday. He was hanging out with us at the hang. He was on in January, so probably next month, I would think. We try to do every 3 months or so. That would be good, though. Yes.
Yeah, he's always a blast.
And he did say, I believe he said either on air or off air, but I'll say it here. The next time he was on, he wanted to make sure he had the digitals figured out for the guitar, because he's going to give us the lesson that Robin Crosby gave him.
Cool.
He says, how do you feel about that? I said, quite good. And a little turned on. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yep. What's up, Bonkers?
Cheers, dude.
Yep. All right. I'm just got to scroll back because I'm just seeing. Okay. So Bo was talking about knowing people back in the day, because that's how Bo just puts the period on most conversations. So, I got one of those. We're all like, we got this reissue. And he's like, yeah, you mean the reissue of this? Because he's got the original. Yeah. Yes, Bo. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. She's not going nowhere.
Ben Allmark in the house. Good to see ya. Jim says, I saw Robin play with the band back in the day. Well, Jim's old. No. There's Charles Green. Mark was wondering next time you get to see Charles Green on the Sunday show. Well, there he is. Right there.
There you go. Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Asking you shall receive.
We've had a request, Charles, for you to come back sooner than later, so I will be in touch about doing a show soon, apparently.
It's always a blast.
Yeah. Great to see Charles Green here, and he was hanging with us for a bit yesterday and during the guitar show off. Oh, look at this rock star treatment, Charles, in the chat. Everyone's we just got to wait until we catch up. Everyone's so busy saying hey to him, and that's fine. Wow. Imagine if he started his own show. Woohoo! Easy.
And he should. Well, I know that seed has been planted multiple times.
I think he does the right thing. He just, I'll guest with Donnie, I'll guest or co-host with Tony. He'll come over here, he'll guest. That way you don't have to worry about all the infrastructure and.
I was just going to say, way less BS.
Show up and hold court.
Yep.
Does it work?
Let the games begin.
Oh, all right. Out of nowhere, we've got unfucking believable right there. Guitar influences. All right. Do you have 3 off the top of your head?
Wow. Are we defining by genre?
Whatever.
I'm a Satch fan. I've always liked Satch. He's not the most, well, I'm not really going to say that. I was going to say he's not really the most technical player, but he's got some chops.
He does have some chops.
Number 2 be Al Di Meola. Got an album called Scenario. Threw on the first side and just kind of freaked me out. Him and the Les Paul and the Lynn drum machine. Like the first 30 seconds, minute or so, just okay. Not what I was expecting. And then I got into Friday Night in San Francisco and Elegant Gypsy, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to a Waka Steve Vai. I listened to a Waka Dream Theater. I don't really learn any of their tunes though.
Mm-hmm.
No fair number.
I get it. You can take elements and ideas and concepts and
yeah, like for the most part, I don't go out and learn covers. I learn covers if I'm in a band. Like, and I know a bunch of Satriani and stuff like that because we did a lot of Satriani and stuff like that. And then back in the day, instead of, you learn the side. Okay, you got to learn this song on the album per side, so you just play the whole flipping side, and you eventually learn it. So that's why most of my stuff.
Okay.
But acoustic, so many acoustic players. Like, a big fan of acoustic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But to narrow it down to one guy, I don't think I could.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough indeed.
Half the stuff I sit around here and muck around with is.
I like BC comments. Hip has the only 70s vintage Explorer that the Edge doesn't own, apparently.
Yep.
The Edge is in negotiations, But when it's the Edge calling, you just throw an extra 0 or 2 on the end, right? Because it's good
to be 2.
He's got that rattle and hum money, is what I'm saying, folks. So
yeah,
might as well make him pay for it. It's because he doesn't need another Explorer.
No,
a lot of us need Explorers. You don't need all of them.
Everybody should have one.
Everybody should. Like a Telly.
Yep. I'd like a Telly. Damn near about a Telly.
Mm-hmm.
Many decades ago. Probably about 30 years ago.
Trev's silently giving us the finger at the screen. We'll find you the right one, Trev. Michael Torrance says he needs an Explorer. I agree. Unbelievable asks, what's on the pedal board?
I do own pedals. I have not used them. Well, I just got them shipped out from Ontario.
You did finally get them shipped out?
Yeah.
Okay, because we were talking about that.
So my pedals, an original heavy metal pedal, a Boss CE3.
Nice.
And a Boss DSD2, a digital sampler delay that I just use for like about delay around, I don't know, 400 milliseconds or so. in around there. Just a couple of da-das at the end. That's about it. And an OD1 or a Super Overdrive? I think it's a Super Overdrive. I bought a Super Overdrive.
Right.
That's it.
Nice.
Can't afford a Fractal. Otherwise, well, that'd be the way to go if I was going pedals. That's the way I go.
Billy says my Explorer will look like yours in 50 years. It may.
Oh, this thing is pretty beat up. It's been through hell.
Yeah. I'd like to be around to see it happen. Scott Brockway says the telly he wants is about $3,600. It's gonna be a good one. Coots 13 in the house. Gear Junk 35 in the house. He's gonna check the replay. Lawnmower Tape says the new Epiphone Firebird is tempting. Right?
Yeah.
Zach comments, I'd like to fingerstyle. Wait, no, I think you'd like to play that. It's the way you said that. I'd like to fingerstyle acoustic guys. Okay, well, sure. We all have lifestyle choices, but sure. He likes McGee, Antoine Defer, Don Ross, Caleb Graham. That's just a new view. Nice. Randy's talking about Monty Montgomery. Loves playing. Scientific Uppercut in the house. As well as Ryan Hall's on the road again without Willie. Not on the road again with Willie. Well, I do that. How do you all memories go? Speaking, he's quite the little acoustic player. There you go. How do you live without a chorus pedal? Unbelievable, lass. You don't. You got one now.
Yeah. Have been built into the where's that amp? Oh, one of those amps way up there. In the delay, in the reverb.
Yeah. What are you jamming on tonight? I'm jamming on Ace of Spades as the strain of the day. So I'm not playing guitar tonight. So just talking about him tonight. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'll be playing tomorrow. What's up, Six String Stanger? Good to see you, my friend. And Michael Kress, yes. Ken did say he has a CE3 because I was paying attention or not. How do you feel about the $1,000 guitar Epiphones approaching Gibson territory? You mean the ones that are pushing 1,500 Canadian for a signature one, or I can spend $100 more and get a Gibson tribute Les Paul for $100 more than a signature Epi?
Is that the priciest Epi they make?
No. I believe the Epi 335 is 1718 Canadian. The Epi. Then again, oofta, the Gibson 335. That was one of my rants yesterday talking about. I'm saying they keep raising the prices on the rack, but it's the same guitar that's been in stock for 2 years, and we know they paid 2022 wholesale for that thing to have it retailed at a 2022 price. So, yeah,
the bastards.
The Lawnmower Tape says, I wonder if my 96 Epiphone Korean Explorer is anything like Edward's 70s Destroyer. Ballpark, yes, because the Ibanez was cloning the Gibby, which also those Korean-built Epis, they already command a certain little extra, I don't know, 10, 15%, we'll say, extra in value over Chinese built. And getting more value, like I that was something I always looked for. I was always, I don't know, there was always an extra mojo to the old Korean made stuff. I really enjoyed. Getting harder to find that stuff though. Then again, we're approaching 30-year-old. That stuff's coming up on 30 years. The Epiphone Firebird is $1,700 US. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. That was the other one. The Dave Grohl 335. Yeah, it's like 1,500 or so. I don't know. I hope that means that the workers overseas are getting paid a more fair wage as opposed to price gouging on the import as opposed to domestic run stuff, because really that was always the big, why does this cost this versus that? Because of labor rate. That's the biggest difference.
It will a smidge, and I mean a smidge, but beyond that, no.
Yeah, and I think largely now it doesn't matter where it's made, because anything can be made anywhere at a certain price point. Like, a $2,000 Indonesian-made guitar is going to be one hell of a guitar. Because as opposed to a $2,000 American-made guitar, which is sort of like, well, we're paying the new guy for that.
Yeah.
We're talking theory, Michael Krause. Blue Mox asks, do you think we're at the bottom of the price dip? What price dip? New prices just keep going up and up and up. I don't know about the used market. I haven't really looked. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to it, but it doesn't seem overly cheap. So I'm not sure on that. Although it does seem to be a bit of a soft market. I put an amp up for sale. I've had nibbles. I keep getting the same question. Is it all tube? Yes. No follow-up. Is it all tube? Yes. No follow-up. 5. God, I'm like, quit tire kicking. Is it all tube? What part of vintage PV Classic 50, Ken? That tells you right frickin' there it's all tube. And when has the Classic 50 been not all tube?
Pretty much, yeah, man. It's an old ass amp.
Yeah, that's PV's take on a Fender.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much difference as a $700 guitar versus $1,200. Again, it all depends. Like, how much do you want to put into it? Like the factories overseas, they'll build you whatever you want. It's just how cheap or how expensive you want to go. Because generally, you're looking to slide your guitar into a certain product line or marketplace.
And it depends on where on the guitar you want to spend that money. If you want it to sound kick-ass but not play so shit hot, or if you want it to play like $1 million and sound so, big difference in every iteration in between.
You want hardware that's going to rust up in a year and a half?
Yeah. Bridges, wiring, pots.
Are you okay? Are you fine with a standard poly finish, or do you want it shot in a nitro lacquer so it is going to age? Which really means, so do you want your finish to go to shit, within a few years? Because that's what lacquer does.
True enough.
Randy says he has 4 Upphone Gibson inspired. They're all great guitars. Mm-hmm. They're all decent. A little pricey on the new side. But again, it's basically you're building more or less the Gibson spec just overseas, which is basically what they've been doing for quite some time. It just means now we're letting you know it's the same hardware and parts and stuff.
Yeah.
So, which actually makes sense because, as you know, Ken, working in the metal industry, it's way easier to source one bridge and tailpiece than have to do 2 parallel, a metric one and an imperial one for your overseas production as opposed to your domestic production.
Mm-hmm.
Keith H coming in like a champ. You got a problem with pot metal? Billy says, I'm sorry, but those $1,000 plus imports should at least have rosewood fretboards. It's hard to get rosewood.
I think you're already starting to see companies starting to go towards synthetic materials.
More ebony.
Bodies.
Yeah, I'm seeing more ebony, and all the ebony's died nowadays too, because there is no good ebony anymore. It also depends, like some rosewoods are getting cheaper than others again. Like, you're not getting Brazilian. That's a given. But a lot of Indian rosewood still out there. Now you're starting to see variants of stuff like Gretsch I got. It's NATO wood, but it's like it's a variant of mahogany. It's part of the family. I'm like, well, fuck it. Just call them mahogany lighters. I don't know.
Is it the one Palfaro?
Like Palfaro, right? It's kind of like rosewood, but it just looks like rosewood that always needs to be oiled. It looks dry and ashy all the time.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, putting rosewood on the manifest and shipping it in the U.S. as well. Richard Clark, good point.
I think you'll see companies start to creep, well, especially for fretboard material. Ridgelight, good example.
Yep.
Someone muck with, waiting for someone to muck with something ceramic for a top.
And heaven forbid, Trev, plug your ears. We go back to a lot of maple fretboard guitars. Oh. We can grow the shit out of maple trees in this country. How many acres do you need? We'll grow them.
Yeah.
Bo says he doesn't have any guitars with Powell Ferrell. Well, I understand that because you have mostly domestic-made guitars. You don't usually go for the cheaper import stuff where you're going to see it. I don't know if I have a preference for fretboard material. I guess maple. I guess I'm most used to that feel. Oh, then again, rosewood I like too. I'm not the biggest fan of ebony. It's a little too close grained for my liking. It feels a little fakey.
Yeah, I kind of dig it. I like rosewood. It's more color for me. Not into maple necks.
I'm more concerned about the frets than the fretboard material, to tell you the truth. Fret size is way more important to me.
Yep. Yeah, if the board's that bad, well,
everyone's commenting in, which is good. Algorithms. The more you guys talk, the better it is. 67 watch. Yeah, Unbelievable asks, going to change the pickups on my Dr. Fabric Top Telly. Recommendations? Why, yes. The vintage workhorse set from Reno Fin Custom Guitars. They came. You heard them the other night.
Well, that's a 2-for-1 deal. So, what 2 pickups would I recommend?
But if we're not going to go with mine, you can't go wrong with Lindy Fralin pickups for a Telly.
And you're talking a Fender Telecaster, right? Like not a Sir Telecaster. Or...
It was the one that Charles built for him. There.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Yep. Well,
because Chris, I'm not saying he broke the output jack on his guitar the other night, but he broke the output jack on his guitar the other night. So now he's going to replace the pickups. He said, I got to get a whole rewiring now. So I guess he figures Miles will replace the pickups while he's at it.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, if you're already in there. Any urge is kind of striking you for a Telly? I don't know. I bet to only a single coil guitar.
Older sounding better to me. 50s style pickups.
Yeah, I wouldn't go anything. I don't know what output of singles are, but like for a humbucker, anything over 10K, nah.
Now Chris is trying to get it. He says, why does the middle position suck? It doesn't. It's only those who don't know how to set up the ramp for quality tone, apparently. That's where they buy. No. What's up, Speaker? Ken, do you ever play in the middle position on your guitar?
That's 95% of my playing is both pickups. Neck on about 4 and the bridge maxed. If I want to cut through a bit more, or I'm doing leads, straight bridge. Otherwise, that's my sound.
All right, so infer degrees with me, Lindy Fralin, since I'm spending your money. There, Boner Jams himself. Hipmetalworx is a sexual icon. God bless everything, everyone. Have a great week. That's our friend. Boner Jams, he's one of the bottle washers over at the End of the Bus Network. Thanks, my friend. Do appreciate it. I'll keep the lights on. Texas Specials, Randy comments. You know what? I'm almost wondering if Zach's using voice to text, because now he's like tickle that leg button. Now he's getting either Zach's just extra touchy feely tonight. I think he got into the magic mushrooms, Ken, and he's feeling extra lovey, which can happen sometimes on the shrooms.
My address is... Shrooms are good. Haven't had any for quite a while.
Rich's bachelor
Yeah,
party was the
years
last
maybe.
time. And I don't know. I did a lot. I think I did about 5 grams.
Yeah, that'll take the edge off and then some.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it got to the point where I was tired, but I had no chance of falling asleep. So since we're at this Airbnb, and in the bedroom that I was staying in had a electric fireplace, but it did the flickering thing. And it had a stucco ceiling, like the balloon popper 5000 type thing.
Okay, yeah.
I just laid in bed and watched the light dancing over that. And it was perfect. I'm like, yep, this is good. I'm just hitting my vape. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
All right. So a good time was had by all.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what counts.
So Bo says it's harvest week here. So that means next week is Sweetwater week. That's how that works. Scientific Uppercut says 5 grams is a lot. Yeah, and I hadn't done it for, I don't know, 15, 20 years before that. And unbelievable, still trying to find fellow believers that you can't use the middle position on a guitar. It's where all the chiminess is.
It's just a different tone that you have to play with. It's like the different tone between picking up an electric and an acoustic and trying to get the exact same sound out of them. Or sound quality, per se. A poor analogy, I know, but...
Yes, as Zach says, please hit that like. Or tickle it, if you will. And then, see, then next week, Sweetwater. I get it. Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle.
I think he might be. Can we hear that Explorer neck pickup? Well, with the compression, it's going to sound. Oh, well, I could compensate for that. All right, Ken, I'm going to flip over your audio if you want to play something for.
I have distorted. Well, I'll turn it down really low and then turn up the net pickup as we go.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have a little echo on my end, folks, but it's okay. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's creamy goodness. Yeah, right?
It's a really dark guitar. Super dark.
All right. So, first of all, you play in the 4 position on your Strat, so you're already playing in the middle position, Chris. We already covered that in yesterday's Water Buffalo meeting where you tried to throw me under the bus. I'm like, yeah, good luck. It's a stacked deck. This is my family. like I'm thinking, Ken, people usually subscribe because they kind of agree with me. They become channel members and patrons because they really agree with me on stuff. That's kind of how it works. By the way, please click the join button if you haven't already. Become a channel member. And we will be giving away some channel memberships tomorrow night. I don't know why I mentioned that right after I asked you to actually click and pay for it when you can get for free tomorrow night. But yeah, click that join button. I'm looking at you, Boner Jams. No. So, yeah. But, one of the highlights of clicking that join button is twice a month we do the Water Buffalo meetings where we talk gear and, well, we talk about a lot of stuff other than gear, too. Which we noticed was an hour and a half into the hang. We're like, hey, look at that. We're talking about gear all of a sudden.
Yeah, it kind of depends who's there. Because occasionally we
be like Richard Clark, and he subbed because he doesn't have anyone to talk to on Sunday nights. There we go. I can't fault you for that. That's where all the magic is. Huge tone indeed, Charles.
And that's on like super distorted mode. So
Randy, it's a one-hitter. That's what it is. It looks like a cigarette, but it is not a cigarette.
This is a joint in hand.
Yeah. That. Yeah. Scientific Uppercut mentions, if you're all into DIY stuff, I make pedal enclosures. Very nice. So you do rehousings of pedals into enclosures, or you just do the enclosures to be ready to be rehoused? I'm not sure how that works. Billy thought it was a dart. I get it.
So custom enclosures?
Yes. I'm cutting down on my intake instead of just, bowls upon bowls. I'm just, using the one hitter. Calming things down a little. That also makes the weed last till later in the week because a fella needs to get out to snag on some more because I realized what I had of 5 partial bags is now down to 3 almost empty bags. That's not good.
Yes. Getting mighty low.
Yeah. And then tomorrow night I will be playing some tunes along with giving away channel memberships. Of course, bad album covers. Those are always fun. And then
there are some of those where where were the PR guys back in the day? Obviously a shitload of salesmen.
Yeah.
But I guess, other than big companies like GM, etc., no one was really into marketing per se.
I told you the other day. I told you about the P90s in the middle position. Bo says, see, Ben, you need the good strains. This is Ace of Spades, and I've been using Maui Wowie last while. Plus, it's affordable.
There should be something called Detroit Locker.
Yep. And we're not talking about the rear end.
Nope.
I dated a girl like that once, though. P90s are awesome in any position. Agreed, Richard Clark. Agreed.
Yep.
Change my mind.
Yeah, I like them.
I assume, Bo, you have a P90 guitar of some kind? And Billy, you may have paid the same amount I did, although it was only $40 an ounce here. Although I think it was bottom of the barrel type stuff. I had a lot of mini buds and stuff, But it was $40 for an ounce of it. I'm like, yes. I've had Maui Wowie. I can't remember ever.
Well, at least it wasn't Maui Wowie in Labrador, right?
Truth. Richard Clark says Les Paul Special is his number 1 and will be forever. Okay.
I have yet to play one I'd buy.
I can think of a couple. I played one last year I liked. I really played what kind of question is that? But of course I do. All right, Bo, just checking. Just had to throw it out there. I played one. It was with humbuckers, not P90s, done in whitewash. Man, it's that in LM forever, and it was one of those ones I kept thinking of because it was priced right. It was down to like $1,300. I'm like, oh, like being into a Gibby for $1,300, Ken. And right about the time I was thinking about snagging it, it was finally gone. I'm like, dang it! All right, all this stuff's coming out. See, my PRS has 2 P90s. Revener has 1. I need more P90s, according to Michael Krause. All right, Scientific Uppercut. He says the pros and cons of Les Paul Jr. There are no cons.
If you like Les Pauls, yeah. Yeah.
A single P90 does a thing. Now, it should mention the only con is if you get a double cut Les Paul Jr., because they should be single cut. Because a double cut isn't a Les Paul anymore.
No.
It's an abomination.
It's a slanted SG kind of.
Oh, you can try to explain yourself, Chris, but no, it's all good. It is in fact all in fun. Or a double cut equals weaker neck joint. Yeah, I can say that. Cons are I don't have one. I'm seeing a few people. That's what they're saying. The only con is like, okay. Bo does not have a Les Paul Jr. Wow. For the amount of gibbies he has around that place, you would think he would have a junior. Especially, I thought he would have snagged one of those. I don't know if you remember, Ken, it was around 2020. They were blowing out P90 double cut in like navy blue color. There was like tons. There was like 4 guys in the YouTube community that all snagged them at the same time. I played with. They had big baseball necks, but I think they were down to about 800 Canadian. You could snag one up. They were giving them away. I was surprised Bo didn't snag one of those. I didn't like it though. Like I say, it was double cut and it had a big chunky neck. Because I thought, ooh, for $800, I might have to fall in love with it, Ken. And I played it. Nope.
Oh, bang for the buck. Like that's how I shop. Like if I'm looking for stuff, that's how I shop.
Yeah, but I didn't bond with how it felt in the hand. Like the left hand was not happy, so I'm like, nope. I'm like, I can set it up so it can be play well. What's in front of the fretboard doesn't really matter to me. But if that neck has to feel right, and I think it had kind of one of those open pore finishes, which I detest on a Gibson.
Yeah, not the biggest fan of it.
Yeah, because I can feel all the little holes, all the divots. And, yeah.
It's kind of like those sandblasted guitars, like that kind of finish. Yuck.
I'm familiar with Shones Wood. If I look at Harley Benton Jr. thing, I can't do the Harley Benton thing. They just feel too much like toys to me. They feel too cheap. I've tried, but then they're a good mod platform. I don't want to buy a fixer-upper, Ken. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to go to the pawn shop and spend $75.
Yeah, or hop on Craigslist or Kijiji or whatever.
Yeah, pick up a Husk to build if I'm going to do that. I'm not buying a new guitar to then rip it apart and upgrade.
No. But if you got money to burn, to each their own.
There we go. BC played the Joan Jett Melody Maker. Yeah, similar.
Never really dug those either.
Yeah. That used to be my jam as well. Scientific Uppercut. I buy cheap guitars to fix them up, but now I just buy something nice or at least decent. It's weird. I have no gas, but I still get guitars. Like I'm up 2 this year, and I didn't need any, and I'm already up 2 this year. So I don't know how that works out. But
Then go with it.
Well, that's what we do. It was like Trev was talking about. Kind of one of those meant to be. Well, you sat in on those hangs, Ken, where you're like, if it's meant to be, like the Explorer for me, an Explorer. I didn't actively go out searching for one, but we just put the awareness out there, and we looked around, and then when one decided to fall into my lap, boy, did it ever. But so the same thing, Trev was on with Charles there a couple weeks ago, and he said, "What are you gassing for?" He said, "I'm not really gassing for anything." So we're sitting there, and he said, I don't know. He goes, "What do you think I should get next? Maybe a pedal." He started his pedal board some time ago, very basic, just a couple things on it. So of course I said, "Well, you look at a chorus pedal." And then he proceeded to say, "Well, do you have any extras?" And apparently I have 9 chorus pedals around here, we found out that evening. So, yes. And so we're debating on that, thinking about it. And then sure enough, when he went to return that telly he rented, there was a hell of a deal on an EVH MXR chorus. And so we snagged on that. And now he's, this sounds awesome. I'm like, right?
And the chorus is it's got to have.
Because it's a stereo chorus cab, now he's looking for a second head. See?
Well, yeah.
So, because it's like having an empty guitar stand. You have that output, the right side. He's like, I'd like to plug something into that. That's right. Just snag a lunchbox head of some kind.
Yep.
Chris, thank you very much, my friend. I do appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, that's all you need. Or if you can find a decent combo.
Right? Yeah, well, he's got that extra cab sitting there, just mocking them. Say, "Why don't you plug me in? You never plug me in."
That's the speaker up. Hey, bonus one. But yeah, that'd be the way to go for sure.
Michael Krause. It was the year of the chorus a few years ago, for one thing. And I do like modulation. And I cut down. That's like phasers. I was over a dozen phasers for a while.
Never got into phaser. I had a couple. I had a Boss. And an MXR. The MXR phaser was right.
Devil with Alien Head, Rob Blackmore official.
The East Coast Island.
Yeah, you got speaking of getting walloped with snow, he got hit with like fucking 4 feet there not too long ago. Oof.
It's all yours.
Over there. All right, so I might be in double digits for choruses. Well, most people I know have them are happy with Gretches. I'm just not a real hollow body player, so I've never really gotten into them any degree. They do a thing, BC. They do a thing. And I think everyone should have a Gretsch as well. Or a hollow body.
I do a 335 or a 339 if I could find one. A 339 would be kind of
halfway there. That's a semi. That's not full.
Yeah, it's hollow enough.
Yellow or tobacco burst. Both shopping as we speak for a junior. Can't go wrong with TV yellow. And I assume you're getting with a single P90 and not a humbucker. You can get it with a humbucker.
Go the 90. The 90 is the way to go.
Yeah, the 90 does the thing. TV yellow, single cut, or tobacco burst single cut. And I'll love you forever. And then you order the bridge from Uncle Larry, the wraparound tailpiece that will be fully intonated. All right. Well, what we could do a poll. Everyone let Bo know. 68 people watching. Everyone chime in, because that also helps with algorithms. So if we get the chat just to fly, just saying.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got 68 crazy bastards here.
That's it. Just to see us. Who knew?
What a sick bunch of mofos.
It's one of the best rounds of weeks. I don't think we pulled this with our chance the other week. How'd that happen?
Is he still digging his Solar?
As far as I know.
Yeah. I haven't played an Evertune guitar yet. I'd like to, though.
I don't think I have. Because usually when I see an Evertune, it's on a very pointy guitar. And usually they'll be at an amp show and there's like a bunch of skinny, greasy, younger gentlemen going. And then another guy, jot, 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 jot. I'm like, why? Why? What do you, jot, jot, jot? No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Like severely detuned 7-string stuff.
You can't laminate your hall pass, Tony. You can't do that. No. You missed the meeting yesterday. You're an hour late.
For shame, Tony.
Yeah.
And how's it going, dude?
Okay, Tony, this coming Saturday is doing Merle Haggard. He had asked me to appear, but I can't because I'm previously engaged. Not that kind of engaged. And Steve Clark is the man. Steve Rezer. Speaking of which, Steve Clark, I believe it's the highest viewed show on Fruitcake Tony's channel, Hip, is the Steve Clark episode that we did together, along with Green. Because I noticed prior to the show, there's not really much out there in the way of Steve Clark material. And so, like, the longest is a 13-minute video, and we did like 2 hours on it. So, there you go. Tobacco cool. It is. Let them know tomorrow morning. All right, there we go.
What do I recommend for an orange amp?
I don't. I don't.
I've only played a couple of orange amps, and that was 5 or 6 years ago. To be honest,
I had micro servers for a period of time. The little teeny tiny thing. The greatest thing with that is like it's this big. It's like a little bit bigger than a Boss pedal, and it can run a 412 cab.
3 knobs, yep.
Yeah, but you know, an orange sounds like an orange. Which, if you're into that, cool. But if you're not into that,
to me, an orange kind of sounds like a box. From the boxes I've heard, a little dark, you know, kind of little squashed. But man, if I was going to buy orange, hell, I'd go solid state, man. Check out what Ty Tabor uses.
Their solid state stuff, it does sound pretty damn close. I will admit that. I've played through both. Where the hell was I for that? Ardent's got into it. They were an orange dealer for a period of time. And I think I may have played some orange stuff over at our friend Sean Pierce Johnson's house. He's done stuff with orange for years as well. At least it doesn't sound like a banana. But yeah, that stuff. I don't know. I just never really bonded with orange. But then again, I think really if you're an orange player, you're going to want to use it for your distortion too. And I need pedal platform. I think Ty's playing through oranges now, Chris. Yeah. And there we go. Michael Torrin has entered the chat. It depends on the orange amp. The new ones are not like the old ones. That's true.
I was just going to say. Yeah, watch a few of Lyle's videos, Psionic Audio.
Yep.
And, you know, another good source of info. Along with Michael, of course.
I did a live stream with one of the owner's kids, the son. He put together the photo coffee table book on the orange amps. And I think it had to be on Sean Pierce Johnson's channel because I can't remember the gent's name. Nice guy. And we were talking all about oranges. Oh, you're fading into your amps all of a sudden. I don't know how that worked out.
Oh, I know why.
I like a dirty amp, just adding pedals mostly to boost highs and mids. Sure. OR30. Yeah, and the micro terror gives you an idea of what it's going to, or a mini terror. There's lots of them out there. You can snag them up on the Android Google.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
I think the last, what am I thinking? The Super Crush? Is that the one I'm thinking?
The Crush.
$100.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was thinking. But yeah, it's hard to say in this. Like, I think in this day and age, you buy a clean amp and you do everything else pedals. You want a boogie, you spend a couple $100, there's a boogie. You want a Marshall?
Boogie in a box. Get a Marshall in a box. Get a Fender in a box.
Yep.
Sure. I just recently put a Fender in a box back on my board because splitting with a Fender and a Marshall, I found I'm hearing more Marshall than Fender. Although I've got it balanced so well, Ken, you'd swear that I'm playing through my half stack in the middle when you're sitting here because you can't hear one side over the other.
Well, and that's how you want it.
What's up, Bozique? Yeah. And so, which reminds me, then I should probably put a Marshall in a box back on the board as well. But I do have a Boogie in a box. I've got a Fender in a box. I don't currently have a Marshall in a box. But I also have 2 drives and a compressor in front of the amps and boxes as well to push them like you would push an amp of that flavor and attitude.
And I think ultimately that's kind of the way to go.
Yeah.
And depending on your scenario, like if you're kind of gigging full time or just doing the bar band thing, kind of make something like a Fractal or a Helix multi-effect unit and like a Class D power amp. Small, portable. It's not the epitome of tone.
What's up, Noise Bloom?
But
what did I see here? Bo's looking at the Soldano Astro 20. That's a nice amp. Randy Crooks comments, nobody talks about pig nose amps anymore. They're okay backstage as a practice amp to warm up to, but it's not like you're going to ever gig with one, or it's a little, it's a battery powered amp. You can turn your belt.
Am I disappearing again?
You're disappearing again.
I know what's going on.
He's fading into obscurity, folks. No, he isn't.
Yep. Bear with me a sec.
Yep. Let's see. Bozique says, no, you don't need a Fender in a box. Just take a high gain Marshall-esque pedal, roll the gain back, and you got to... No, it's not the same. It's a blues rock tone, but it's not the same. Mine, I got the LPD 55, which sounds like a Tweed amp, for that exact reason. More Tweed tone. And then I got the LPD 87, which sounds like your modded Marshall. Your Jose modded Marshall.
Modded Marshall.
See, unbelievable. He's pushing the MT15. No.
How noisy is yours?
On the back of the amp, do nothing. See, another reason not to get it. I believe that's a PRS product. And where do you see a PRS product? I see none. I see none. And I think it'll stay that way. Although, I sold my soul out for corporate reasons. And here I am with the new PRS, blah, blah. Yeah, no. I may do a demo on, I was looking at a couple I might do a demo on, just to say I've done some demos on some. No. There we go. The pig nose is something you take to the campsite. Exactly, Bo.
We're great in the studio.
I'm in front of my 5E3. It sounds like a Marshall. Yeah, kind of get into a JTM 45 thing. Maybe. Marshall Governor. Yeah, that's a classic pedal. Reissued not so long ago. I don't know if it's the same as the OGs or not. They weren't cheap. I remember that.
You don't hear too much about them, though.
No, they came out like wildfire and then they were gone just as quick.
Yeah. Same with the Fender pedals.
We're going to go for a while longer here, folks. Appreciate each and every one of you tuning in this evening as well.
For sure.
Oh.
Let's see, Spiro's there.
How you take booze at the campsite? You can take both.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'm not taking any booze to the campsite because I don't drink anymore. Mike Cross bought a BBE Crusher for $25. That's exactly the same as the Marshall Governor. Nice. It's funny. I took in some BBE pedals for trade last week, and the young gentleman working at L&M had never heard of the company. It's like, really? I was like, well, then again, you were a kid when they went out of business, probably, because I thought they've probably been out of business a good 10 years at least at this point.
Man.
And I'm thinking he's maybe 24. Maybe, so.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah. And then another guy, we were talking pedals, and this other guy went, I have a Boss phaser. I'm like, get rid of it. So why? I'm like, because every other phaser on the market's better. BB is the most overlooked pedal. I have two. I have I got the compressor and the Green Screamer, which is their Tube Screamer, which I really like that. I'm not the biggest Tube Screamer fan, but that was one of the ones I did like. It did a thing that the others didn't. Actually, I might put that back on my board temporarily. What I would like to get is an OG Sparkle Drive again. I missed that. I was thinking about that the other day. Oh, there was one at Long McQuaid used for short money in the Brantford location. It was sitting there for like 130. Oh, I might have to get them to. Oh, I don't have the money for that though. Dang it, because I bought a freaking Gretsch. So I can't put that on the payment plan because you can only put one thing on at a time. Phase 90 or phase 45? Well, it depends if you want 4-stage or 2-stage. Or just get a phase 95 so you have both in one. I have both. Oh, that's a good question. Thanks to Hobo Roadie, I have the Analog Man modded phase 45. The only thing I don't like about it is it doesn't have an LED on. And with a 2-stage phaser out front, you don't always notice that it is on. So I'd have to hit the speed up to tell if it was on or off at time. But phase 90 post that's a thing of gold. Or out front, too, for that matter. I currently run the Keeley Custom Shop phaser as my main phaser. I don't know what makes a custom shop, Ken. Limited run and fucking a hefty price tag. That's my guess. Oh, we've lost your sound. How have we lost your sound now?
Oh, because I muted myself.
Oh, well, that'd do it.
No, well, you might be better off, too. You can't hear you. Yes! One never knows.
Love Pedal Eternity Burst is the best tube screamer you've heard. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what the best tube screamer I've heard is. I've owned several tube screamers over the years. I've owned several tube screamer clones over the years. I don't know. I have to think about it.
Yep. Anyone I've ever used was, wow, it'd be ancient. It'd be an ancient Ibanez pedal. And it was all right.
I got a clone over there that I like. It's the TS9 and the 808 in one with a toggle. It's nice.
Have no idea what model it was, but it was
not
right.
Brandy Price. Excuse me. BC Rich says the JHS 3 Series Screamer. Sure. Proto says the Ibanez TS808. Nice. Well, I should say, yeah, TS9/808 is the toggle. Oh, we have incoming. We got.
Oh, here we go. Whee!
How's it going? Right on.
EC Invasion.
The
You can tell
wrecking.
with the daylight. Nice. It looks cold there.
It's raining and 6 degrees Celsius.
Oh,
Yeah, you getting rained on?
We're in the deep freeze. Well, not the deep freeze, but the walk-in cooler anyway.
No, yeah. You got the old steam coming up the breath.
No,
Oh, it's beauty out here, man.
got the grill here. We've
Like
got
it's-
some delicious spirits.
cold
Keep it
snacks.
warm from the inside out.
Yep.
Right on. Yeah, it's
I like that. Bo just said brisket smoking command center.
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Well, and the beauty of it is, while we were waiting for the brisket, we had some delicious St. Louis style ribs, just as an appetizer, and some roasted garlic and some little nugget potatoes. So yeah, we are eating and drinking mighty fine.
Nice.
Right on.
Scientific Uppercut asks, y'all like the Rangemaster variants? It's my main OD for a dirty amp. I don't play into a dirty amp, one. Two, I've never really messed with the Rangemaster circuitry at all. At this point. Yet.
Yeah, nor have I.
It's when I go, it's gain stage, Trev. It's a gain stage.
Yep. I mean, a gain stage isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, we like stacking them all on top of each other.
Sometimes you want just a little bit more.
Unbelievable says, who are these guys? Easy there, Chris.
Strangers in the night.
Right?
Go for two on the middle pickup. That's a question. John, do you ever play in the middle position on a guitar?
Yes, I love it. I think it's one of the best positions to ever play, to be honest with you.
Second only to Tiger Style.
No, I love it. I love it.
It has the chiminess.
Yeah.
It's got a thing. It has its unique own flavor.
It's a warm.
So there we go. Because for the rest of the story, folks. So Friday night we were doing an off-air hang was Chris, myself, and Trev, and I started talking about the middle position. He goes, you're full of shit. That's terrible tone. Blah blah blah. I said, no, you just haven't set up your amp right. And then he started to talk about his MT15. I'm like, well, you don't have the right amp. First of all, plug into your SLO30 because you got it there. Use it, and you just clean it up a little. You don't need all the gain. You got tons of pedals. Clean amp. Aha. But then, so then he brought up the Water Buffalo meeting and thought, I'll get the Buffaloes will be on my side. I'm like, I don't think they will be because they pretty much kind of pay to be on my side there, Chris. But let's see. And he got owned, and then he tried it again tonight in the live
Everybody
stream.
loves the middle position.
Sure.
Middle position.
It's all good fun, Chris. We love you. So
You can explain more after show, dude.
That was a fun night. I cranked the Marshall that night.
yes, you did. And then Trev got all excited because I was firing up amps at midnight.
Right?
Well, I would have too, actually.
I don't think my neighbors got too excited. The cat was pissed. What the fuck? It's like the middle of the night. Easy. You don't have a job. Yeah. Scientific Uppercut says malt vinegar needs to be a staple condom in the U.S. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. It's not.
Yeah, Randy.
Yeah.
Randy, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if I go that far.
Yeah, no.
Randy.
Randy Cook.
The Wet Bandits from Home Alone. Actually,
and proud of it.
Oh, I haven't seen Charles at all today. I hope he's okay. I messaged him this morning. I did no show, and he said no show. Oh, okay.
I just kind of figured he was doing the family thing, which is right.
Chris said, I played Breaking the Law. Trev was happy. I played Hendrix. Ben was happy. Yeah. Malt vinegar doesn't rock, Mark. Easy.
You know when you dream theater, Chris?
Probably does. Although he keeps complaining he's a terrible player, and then he's playing us under the table.
I think I'm going to have to learn some.
I can't help you there.
Well, I'm not going to learn anything too scary.
Yeah, there'll be no Dream Theater played on a Monday night, for instance. That's way too complicated and energetic. And
I don't know if I go. Most of it is. Most of it is, but there's some stuff.
I got to find the one song that they've tried to push as a commercially viable pop hit type thing. It's their 1 3-chord jam. Here we are. This is the one.
Put me under.
He says no comment, so that's a yes. That's a yes.
Yeah. I see Ben, but you don't see Randy.
Pull me under. Better tune.
Eric Warrington in the house. Can see Eric here.
Who's the other fellow?
How's it going, Eric? And Dash Jeff.
It's not Ken.
Yep. Negative Jeff. Okay.
But,
Yeah.
we can't imply that he's negative, right? In this politically correct.
The other fellow.
So you're.
Hey, he's like, I actually identify as positive. Jeff K.
You are what you is, mofo.
Just a reminder, folks, tomorrow night, Acoustic Guitars, playing some tunes, bad album covers. You got my producer, Trev, there.
Don't be fucking around.
Giveaways.
Oh, that's
that stuff. I think he's giving John the tour of the place.
We're on the show.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. There we are on the phone.
Get y'all's weed shipped to your door. I could get that long before it was legal, but now, no, I go when I had to stop for gas already last week, but generally when I stop for gas on the res, I snag it there, so it's tax free and well below market value because I buy day old stock. It might be a little dry and crunchy, but it gets the job done.
Oh, if it is that dry and crunchy, you bake with it.
Yeah, or
Yep.
BC Rich says I was going to go with Waldorf and Statler from the Muppet Show. That'd be the live reaction tomorrow night. We could have see Trev and John live reaction right like this. I play something and then they stop. Boo! Your tone sucks. Boo! No.
See, that's the thing.
Priceless.
Between all of
There will be hundreds of people tuning in just for
my
that.
tune is pretty wicked.
Okay, great. Yeah, very good.
Make the crust not be.
I'm not sure.
Guys,
Fine.
Must be brisket smoke.
it's great.
A few more minutes here, folks. Some great topics of conversation tonight. I suppose you want a post-show link there, Chris.
On what? On the Ben Sunday night game?
Oh, really?
Just checking.
So why isn't Ben interactive with this?
Said he is.
In dribble.
He hasn't asked me a fucking question yet.
He did.
I did mention you, John. Are we having a delay?
No delay.
No delay? All right. So, John, I mentioned, we could do this tomorrow night. I love the idea of the two of you there. I could be playing a song, and then, right after I finish, then you can comment, your tone sucks, you're out of tune. I like that one. You surprised me for once.
Can you say short?
Yes. Travis beat me in the beer department. Zach says I can only grow peach fuzz on my face. Well, you're young, Zach. All right. It looks like Scientific Uppercuts in Missouri. All right. Missouri? Sorry, Paul. Sorry. So, John, how are you enjoying the digital rig?
The fractal stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. It's fantastic. It really is. It's nowhere near a tube amp, but it's fantastic for what it is.
You're not there's not much of a latency issue. You can kind of feel it.
No, nothing like that. It sounds and it feels great. It's fantastic. It's a great unit. It's not a tube amp, right?
Right.
But everything else is fantastic. It is absolutely killer.
Yeah, would you be partial to using it as just the effects unit for?
Yeah. So my next thing that I'm going to do is put it into my tube amp thing, but straight up, just the way it is. It's fantastic. It's great. It sounds, nice. It feels great.
Nice. That's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the big thing is the feel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I did a Helix for a year. Made sure that, I forced myself to do it for a year. And it's fucking terrible and rewarding.
Well, you try to make it work, right? And you just get to a point and that's it.
Well, no, I did everything. I did the full FR rig and all that stuff. And, So I figured I'd give the fractal a try and it's absolutely killer. It's great.
It's the way to go, I think, between Kemper and Line 6 and Neural and that stuff. Fractal is the way to go.
So much better.
Has been for a long time.
Yeah. Larry Mitchell's been using it for years, and he's been trying to get me to get into some of that stuff for that reason. And I'm like, and I loved Larry's tone, and he's, it's great for him because he just flies anywhere, just boom, plugs into existing backline, what have you, and
you can take your whole setup, sans and speaker enclosure, with you on a plane or in the car, wherever. Totally portable. If you wanted to go that far.
What's up, Tom Lind? And Poo Ninja, legend himself in the chat.
Cool. Right on.
Oh, it's so good. It's great. I've got nothing bad to say about it. It's not a tube amp, and it'll never be a tube amp, but for what it is, for what I have to make it do on Thursdays when I can't play loud. Fantastic.
No, right on. Cool.
Perfect.
No, it's good bang for the buck, though it seems expensive.
Yeah, but like we said earlier, what isn't expensive, right?
Well, it's so much better. It is so much better than the Helix or the Quad Cortex or the Fender thing. You just hit a chord and it's like, okay, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
No latency, no any of that other bullshit. It's great.
Right. And how's the interface as far as for setting up a tone? Pretty straightforward.
So fucking good, Ben. If you have any sort of idea in your head, it makes so much sense. And what you can do with it is just ridiculous, though.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I liked about it is 5 minutes, I got a great tone. That's it. If you want to do the high cut, the low cut, all that other stuff, you can do that. But you want a good flexi tone, boom, done. You want a good ODS 100 tone, done.
Mm-hmm.
You want a good Gilmore tone, done. That's it.
Nice. See you, Dave. Dave Chase had it out.
Thank you, Dave.
You're off. Have a good one, Dave. Thanks for popping by. See you at the next water buffalo. Dude.
Laundry's finally done in the dryer, Trev. Took him 6 months. Laundry's finally done in the dryer. No. Bo says what I need is a couple rack amp switchers. Yeah, you do. Talk to our friend Michael Torin. He knows.
Read my mind.
Well, I think we're going to probably wrap up things here, folks. This has been a great. We're definitely going to have to do it again, Ken.
Well, okay. I'll try and do my hair next time. Try not to be so blue, Yeah.
It was nice, yes, with the BC contingent popping in as well. The round it out, folks. It's not often you get 4 Canucks on one single screen. That's what I'm saying.
Bacon overload.
Although it kind of furthers that stereotype that we do all know each other. So.
Seriously.
Right. So on behalf of the guys on Hip, myself, thanks everybody that tuned in tonight. Great show as always. Extra special thanks to those that contributed tonight. That helps, pays for that thing over there that I'll play tomorrow night, probably. That's well, something else. Surprise. Ooh.
You might grab it. You might.
We'll talk about that. Yes. So see you tomorrow night with Canucks with Guitars. Please subscribe. Click that join button, all that fun stuff, and you guys hold the line, of course. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. And then where's the outro? There it is. Yeah, I don't have Trev to do it tonight. That's his job.
Rock on.
Yeah, exactly. That too. And don't litter.